and it was in 1910, and it was because they had had a mining accident in a town up in the state of Washington where I think over 100 men had passed in the mining accident, and they memorialized it with Father's Day. And that was a good thing to do. Now, President Wilson in 1916, he urged more states in addition to Washington, because it was spreading throughout the land naturally, because of course dads want to get recognized too. So 1916, President Wilson put out a telegram urging states. He didn't make it a law or anything. Now, not to be outdone, President Coolidge did the same thing, except I don't think he did a telegram. I think he made it almost legitimized it. Now, guess what year Father's Day became an official, I can't even talk today, an official national holiday? That was in 1972. I still remember that year. President Nixon made Father's Day a national holiday in 1972. Yay! So now you know the origins of Father's Day. More news today. I heard it on the radio and then I reconfirmed it on the internet. There is a new union in the state of California. In North Hollywood specifically, there was a bar, specifically a bar where women would remove their clothes, and I don't know if men did too or not, because they just called it a stripper bar. And they were striking over the fact that they were working in unsafe working conditions. Yes, it can be unsafe for them too. As a matter of fact, a lot easier than a lot of other places. Now they have a union up in North Hollywood. Yay! Unionize, unionize. Now, a new find I want to share with you is foodreferences.com. It is Cook Week. Now, foodreferences.com is the source of information you can have for all sorts of things about foods. And I just pray that they continue to have that website up forever, because I just looked it up really quickly, and they have a lot of interesting information. For example, this month, the month of April, is American Cheese Month. And also, it is Hamburger Month and Salad Month, National Salad Month. Now, I was kind of wondering, maybe all the months are going to be Hamburger Month and Salad Month. No, they actually have different months for different foods, which is great. And they had information about compound. What is compound? You know, new word to me. But compound was where you take butter and lard. They used to do that when butter was really expensive, and they would mix butter and lard to have an acceptable substitute. And I'm sure there's all sorts of kitchen secrets that you can get from foodreference.com. And that's the news. That is the news. I'm going to pass it over to this guy, because he might know what he's talking about. Oh, I thought I'd be all the way big on that. Anyways, here I am. Welcome to Andrew's Simple Cooking, one of the best cooking channels on, actually probably the best cooking channel for going for short, quick, well-presented recipes on YouTube. Amazing cooking. Thank you, Andrew. I love to call you my friend because you are my friend. I'm trying out a new recipes, by the way, Andrew. This one is, I just got recently. It's out of a source of recipes that I have, and it calls for 1 teaspoon of cayenne powder, lemon juice, and hot water, and some honey to sweeten it, or maple syrup. I used organic honey. I didn't use fresh squeezed lemon. I used lemon concentrate. Not too bad. I think a teaspoon, if you're using a teaspoon, use a shallow teaspoon or maybe even a half teaspoon to start with. It's supposed to help you not have to have hunger pains, which is a nice thing to not have. Let's get this guy out of there and let's show the 5 crazy things. Might as well get into it. Let's see, did I miss any questions? No, I did not. And by the way, if you have any questions, just put them in the chat, put a question mark behind them. I will do my best to answer them all. Here's 5 crazy things. You want 5 crazy things? I got 5 crazy things for you, and they all have to do with cooking today. All right, let's get with the first one. A scale. This thing is from Uncle Bill's house. I bought this scale back when I was making homemade cat food for my cat that has since passed. But I needed to measure out the exact amount of chicken that was in the recipe for her gourmet CKD diet for chronic kidney disease cat. And so I measured it out. That's share number 1. And share number 2 is an equally crazy thing that has to do with cooking mortar and pestle. This is a mortar and pestle, traditional mortar and pestle for breaking up pills or whatever, or hard peppercorns. You can put them in there if you're going to really go to a real fine powder with them. You can use this. This is stainless steel. They also make them out of all sorts of other materials. This is share number 2. And speaking of all sorts of other materials, share number 3 is another mortar and pestle. This is a traditional herb mortar and pestle, and this is for herb leaves. And the dried leaves, you put them in there, and this will just grind up those leaves just ever so well. And that is a way that you can, you know, like say if your recipe calls for, like say, basil leaves or something, dried basil that you need to grind up and put in your recipe, this is the way to do it. It works well. And that is share number 3. Share number 4 is, you know, which came first? The coffee grinder or the pepper grinder? This is actually a coffee grinder, but this is actually a solution to a problem that some people might have with traditional pepper grinders. You know how a pepper grinder, you got to go like this? Well, if you take a coffee grinder, which is this, and fill it with peppercorns, which this one is filled with, then you put the crank on top, and of course on camera it's a lot harder, but now I have a larger surface to go on, and I can just grind and grind and grind and grind and grind, and I'll get peppercorns all over my desk, my top here, and you don't really need to see that, but this is much easier than using a traditional peppercorn mill, pepper mill. I can talk today. That's share number 4. Share number 5 is purely ornamental, but it will work. This is functional. Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. Yeah, it shows up better over here. This is actually a overpriced nut cracker that I couldn't resist. I saw it at a thrift shop for $1. Now, I know that this thing retails at close to about $20. This is a shark nut cracker. Now, the problem with this thing is the design on it. It's made for some really big nuts. It's more for conversation. This is like something that you would use for Brazil nuts. Now, this is share number 5, and if you want a tip on nutcrackers, if you just get yourself a pair of pliers, they work great for cracking nuts. And love you all. I'm going to turn it back over to this guy here right now. Thank you. Andrew pointed out from Andrew's Simple Cooking, with the mortar and pestle, the stainless steel ones rock because they're so much easier to clean out. I also have a marble one, which I think is what you're probably referring to. They also make them out of wood too, and those are better to clean. Stainless steel, you probably can even pop it in the dishwasher. I don't have a dishwasher, and that is one thing. Before I forget, kudos, congrats, and many thanks to my moderator, The Virginia Show. She is an amazing moderator, and also the second sponsor to this program. Let's see what we have. Hey, new YouTubers, do you need coaching on how to be successful on YouTube? Then take Virginia's YouTube coaching classes for only $1,200. See Miss Virginia at The Virginia Show for more details. And there we are, all my commercials, everything. We have Memorial Day coming up. We have so many exciting things. And also, before I forget about it, I should be talking about merch. I'm going to be thinking about merchandise in the future. Anyone in the chat or anybody on the replay, if there's something that you want from Uncle Bill merch, put it in the comments down below or in the stream. I'm going to check all the comments. Currently, I have some t-shirts, some sandals, and a beautiful coffee mugs. Oh, don't you just love that? This from Picket Post when I went there back in 2017 and 2018. I actually climbed to the top of that mountain. That was a big mistake. Wasn't a big mistake, but the way that I did it was a big mistake. I did it all by myself, which was mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 was I didn't bring enough water. And I could have done it on Memorial Day, but it wasn't on Memorial Day. It was way earlier in the year, like December, I think. We have Memorial Day coming up. Like I said before, I used to race canoes with my friend Jeff, 70-mile marathon. The fastest we ever did was a little over 8 hours for that race. And the longest we ever did was a lot over. It was almost 11 and a half hours in the canoe, just going flat out. It was a low water year that year. Also the same year, I think that we shot the dam, maybe. I can't remember, but that was another story. You could catch me on the flip-flop on that one. Father's Day's coming up, and I thought it was kind of interesting learning all the history about Father's Day. And do you need to send merch to the UK? Actually, I don't need to send the merch to the UK. The Teespring actually does merch in the UK. And if you're interested, one of these days soon, I will put a link to merch where people can just get it directly. What I've done with the Teespring store that I have opened up is I dropped the profit level down to pennies because you can't get it exactly at 0, but I got it as close to 0 as you can. And who knows, Teespring might come back to me and say, well, we raised your prices and I now owe them money. And I don't mind. I mean, if that's the case may be. And who knows, for my 1K Yeah, believe it or not, we're coming up, and we're so close to getting 1K members and people that have joined my family, that I might even get monetized this year. You never know. it'll be fun. But yes, the merch will be able to be sent to the UK. There's a totally separate pricing thing for the UK, but I dropped them all down so that I don't get any money out of it. And Teespring has pretty good quality merchandise too. This is one of the T-shirts, and then we have the mug here, which is fun, and it all comes from where everything is made, which is wherever people can find it as inexpensively as they can when they are in the manufacturing business. Summer vacation's coming up too soon. 920. Oh my Lord. 920 friends. Can you believe it? Like yesterday, I think it was under 900. It's just amazing the amount of people that have come to help Uncle Bill and to join my family and to find out what crazy things Uncle Bill has to say about everything, where we cook, we camp, we create, we critique, and we climb. And not only that, we visit Thumbnail Hacks. We're on that channel today. It's a lot of fun. Milestones, yes, talked about that. Coffee, merch, t-shirt, and more. Yes, there is more. And I'm going to see if I can find something even less expensive in the merch shop. And if there's not, I might go look around and see what I can find. Oh, there are stickers. We could add stickers. They have stickers for like $5, but I don't know. I'm not partial. Some people like stickers. I'm not a big sticker fan for an expensive thing. I'd rather have something that is more, something that can hold all the goodness. And the other thing I didn't say about this recipe here with the cayenne pepper, I was surprised that it's not actually that bad. The smell isn't all that great, but it could be because I'm using my coffee mug, which I use for just about everything. And I would use less than a teaspoon to start with. It actually tickled my nose a little bit. And when it was hot, it was hard because when you sip it, it's almost like inhaling pepper. So that wasn't very good. But other than that, it's great. It's kind of like that old commercial, where I thought I was going to die or whatever. Try it, you'll like it. And I did, and I thought I was going to die. But no, it's not that bad. And let's see what other good things. Community wall. I'm going to be having all sorts of posts on the community wall. Check out my community wall on all my channels. I'm getting into a regular posting schedule, and it's a lot of fun. Merch, we talked about that. And everybody who's joined, I mean, you're more than welcome to come to the lives. You're more than welcome to put down whatever comments are appropriate on any of the videos. I do my best to respond to them all. Been a little busy, and it's been fun. And the job, keep growing. Thanks. Yeah, it is. Growing on YouTube has been an amazing experience, and also getting coached. I know she's probably going to be blushing a little bit, but the Virginia Show is an amazing coach, mentor, and she does know YouTube. It's been value, and I can't say. I will end it right there because I could go on for the rest of the time. And cooking this week, we're probably one of the things that I did was I did a quick couple shorts that I'm going to be putting on the Cook channel, in addition to the shorts that are going on, and that's a lot of fun. I tried out a new recipe the other day, and I broke out my old pot, my old Nieva stainless steel pot, of which I'm going to give you another tip, a little cooking tip of Uncle Bill's. We have all of these cooking containers that are almost airtight. So what you can do when you're cooking is, instead of taking the food out of the cooking container, if you have a lot of cooking containers like I do, I have a 3-quart stainless steel pot with lid. And what I do is I just leave it on the stove, let it cool down, and take the whole pot and put it in the fridge. Why not? This is like a no-brainer. But the thing is you see everybody else taking their food and they transfer it from the pot to a storage container. And who knows, they might even be using plastic storage containers, which really are not that good for your health over time. So we say, I mean, how many people have actually lived 60 years with plastic? And then, the studies are just about they're as good as the people who did the studies. You have to look into that. And it is Cook Week. Yeah, I do love cooking. And I love watching Andrew's Simple Cooking, because your videos, Andrew, are the inspiration to everybody. I mean, it's almost like my 5 crazy things. You have such a perfect synchronicity to your thing with the intro and then the video, and you're showing the recipe. And the only thing better you could do is if you shipped us the food so we could just eat it. It's amazing. I'm just so in awe of your channel and the Virginia Show. I am in awe of all your channels. And she has His Grace and Mercy, Spill It Girl TV, and just a lot more. And feel free, Virginia, you can drop your links in the chat too if you'd like. I mean, you're here. Also, everybody should have a very happy rest of your week, because we're going to be coming up on Memorial Day weekend. Be careful careful in your Memorial Day celebration. If you're out on the water, for example, in San Diego, this is a traditional time for accidents, unfortunately, because people get crazy on Memorial Day. My plans for Memorial Day, I'm staying home, because that is about the safest place you can be. Maybe barbecue in the back, maybe just go over to my neighbor's house and mooch off of him for barbecuing, because he's got a better grill than I do. Andrew and Virginia, you guys are 2 of my best friends on YouTube. And the replay crew, I love you guys too, because replays count to watching people on the YouTube is a lot of fun. I love YouTube. It's amazing. Merch, new friends, and the weather. I was so surprised when I heard that thing on the news today on the radio. I was like going, hey, is that California that they're talking about? Because I didn't want to let it out about the new union unless I found out that it was in California. Are we missing anything? Did you go live? Did you live far from Florida, Bill? I have never lived in Florida. Did I say Florida? I hope I didn't, because it's a long way from here. And I'm one thing I've learned with my age is I'll share this with anybody is after you reach a certain age, after the age of probably 20, if somebody tells you you said something, odds are high, very high, that you did. I mean, sometimes I just never surprise myself enough about what comes out of my mouth. But one thing I can never say enough of is thank you to everybody that's helped me get this far. I love you all. I hope that you have a great and happy holiday the rest of the week, and we'll catch you later. Bye-bye.